I don't want you in my ranked lobbies, and it's because your Viper lineups scare me. Hi, my name is Carson, aka Schmoovin, aka Young Papermaker 3K, and I'm a lineup wizard who's about to bestow upon you the most powerful Viper setups on Bind. Pay attention. Alright, so first up, we're going to go over the basic lurk utility. This is Viper's bread and butter, and it's specifically good on this map. So for the wall, what you want to do, get in this corner and line it up like so, and the wall is going to look just like this. Blocks off all of A site, pretty basic. Now there is a different way of throwing this where you start in T-spawn and it gives them a little bit less room, but I find that both walls are about the same. Next up, we have the orb for U-Haul. Line up on the center of this mark on the ground and put that dot into that corner, then do a simple jump throw. The main purpose for this orb is to zone out the guy in U-Haul, giving you more space to work with while you're lurking up short. The reason why this setup is so strong is because of the amount of pressure it creates. The enemy team has to respect it because trying to fight it normally is very disadvantageous. So what ends up happening is that the enemy team will waste a lot of utility to clear it out because that's the only real way they have of interacting with it. Also, it forces someone to basically always be watching U-Haul because the setup threatens a lurk which can just eviscerate a team. A common scenario is that if your team is hitting B site, there will be one less person available to rotate and help stop that push on that side of the map. Okay, so next up we have the wall for B. So I like to get into this corner and then line up my wall indicator right through elbow. So this wall is pretty good for pushing up long. It blocks off all line of sight from sight and it just isolates the elbow guy. Now, to be completely honest, you're not going to be using this wall that much because your wall is going to be on A because that setup's just like 10 times better. But it's an option if you want to use it, so go ahead. Next up, we have one of my favorite lineups. Get into this corner and put your smoke GUI on the point where those two lines intersect with the metal panel, and then move it a bit up and to the right. This smoke lands on the edge above CT door and creates this perfect one-way. Any enemies that try to walk through will be exposed way before they can see anything coming out of the smoke. Similarly to the wall, you're not going to have the orb available too much just because the setup on A is too strong. Okay, so now we got my favorite part of Viper's kit, her post-plant utility. So you're going to get in this corner, then you're going to aim to the right of that little thing on the gutter, and then just regular throw. So this is going to land truck, bombs planted here like 90% of the time if you're going A, so it gets full coverage of everywhere. It's going to be pretty good. So that being said, we have another variant of this, which is just 10 times worse. Get in this corner, aim at that little part, like actually that pixel of the gutter, and then just regular throw. It's going to bounce twice, and it's going to land. Now the kicker is, it's going to land 2 seconds faster, so it's just better. Okay, so next up, we got the lineups for B. This one's from long. Hop into this corner, put that GUI line into that corner, very simple lineup, and it's going to land right on default. Very simple, easy to remember lineup. So this one, you're more exposed, but you get a better line onto sight. This one from outside of hookah, you're safer, but you don't get as good of a post plant. So for this one, hop into this corner, and then put that GUI line into that corner, and then just regular throw. Both are exactly the same molly, so which one you throw is going to depend on where you are in post plant. If you're long, you can throw it from long. If you're hookah, you can throw it from hookah. Simple stuff. Okay, so next up, we got a pretty fun lineup. You're going to get on top of this barrel and aim at the top of this leaf. It's going to bounce off this backboard and into the fucking net, baby. Let's go. The reason why this lineup is amazing is because it blocks off the people from peeking bathroom that want to peek bathroom. So you see this guy, he wants to peek bathroom, but he can't because he's vulnerable and he'll die. Next up, we got the same type of lineup, but for long this time. So you're going to line up here, put your right GUI indicator right into that little crevice on the sign, and then regular throw. It's going to go through this gate, and it's going to land right exactly where they're going to peek long. You're never going to guess what it's for. It's for if a person wants to peek long, they're not going to be able to because they're vulnerable and they'll die. So next up, we got the defensive wall. So you're going to get into this corner and aim right at that pillow, and then just throw it. So not only does this get all the B site, and it cuts off hookah, and it cuts off long, but also it cuts off this part of bathroom. So you get 2 walls for the price of 1, and it's pretty good. You'll see a lot of good teams using it. Next up, we got the defensive orb. Normally, if you're playing on A, you'll throw it like this. Or, alternatively, you could throw it from spawn, which is funnier. So you get next to these barrels, you're going to line up your right GUI right there. Just to that end of that little diagonal part. Then you jump throw it. It's going to bounce off the spawn barrier, and it's going to land perfectly. The reason why it's good is because it's an orb, and it blocks off short. So if people want to get through it, they can't because there's an orb. Next up, we got a little bonus lineup for you. This one's a one-way for U-Haul. Just aim it to the right of that dark spot, and it's a perfect one-way. So you're never going to be throwing this realistically because your orbs are already being used on the A lurk setup. Just use this one if you want. It's pretty cool. And finally, we got a lightning round of random defense mollies. That one's for bathroom. That one's for short. This one's also for short, but you're in U-Haul. This one's for the default plant spot on A. This one's for hookah. This one's for long. And the final one is for the B bomb plant spot. This is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. These have been the best Viper lamps on Bind objectively, and anyone who says otherwise is a cheat and a fraud. Get them in contact with me and I'll set the record straight. My name is Carson, aka Schmoovin, aka Papermaker3K, aka Lineup God. Subscribe to learn more from me, and I'll see you next time.